goes. Good morning, everybody. I doubt anybody's going to show up. It's real early, as usual. Had a chance to go and look over the charts. This is Random Crypto Guy with the worst crypto channel on YouTube. Yay! Dun, 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 dun. Bow chicka bow wow. I haven't done that in a while. But alright, we'll get right into it. Let's start with the dollar as per usual. As you can see, we're in the fourth week of green Heikin Ashi candles. This week we saw a good rise up into where supply turned demand right here. I don't know if you were following me, you remember how this was where the thin blue line was, but now the thin blue line is formed up here at this verified support, and we're bouncing off of that. And so it was rejected from the prior thin blue line, where it is now considered resistance, where the weekly is. Now the monthly hasn't popped down and created a thin red line yet, but this is what I suspect is we're going to continue to kind of consolidate in this area for the time being. Not sure what the Fed is doing with the changeover and what's going on. I think they're doing more of a jawbone technique than an actual money printing technique, as people just expect the stock market to go up. The confidence and the psychology is continuing to go up, but the dollar remains solid here in this point, not going up or down, just going sideways. And a nice little rejection gave us a little bit of a tailwind to get Bitcoin rolling again. So let's go over to Bitcoin, and as you can see, the prior week we had our first red Heikin Ashi candle with a lot of selling pressure, but we've bounced back quite nicely and almost took out prior high. Not quite, but we got pretty close. And as we scale down into the daily, you can see the construction is pretty nice reaccumulation, and then just nothing but green Heikin Ashis up to the supply level, prior supply. So, and then it was rejected right at the top, right where all the closes are. Let me zoom in a little bit on that. You can see right here's the close, and you can see it was rejected right in that same area. That's where the rejection happened, and back down below 39,000. But that just looks like a healthy regrouping to get ready to go back up and test up in this area again. And any break above this nested supply, and we're pretty much off to the races again. So we're looking pretty good. Everything's looking constructive, and even this downward pressure here on this white candle, but it's still green Heikin Ashi, is showing still, strong reaccumulation. People are gaining confidence in it again, and as I said, in conjunction with Friday's close, this wick here, creating this wick here, so that gave us a little bit of a tailwind to finish strong on Friday and Saturday, and then so it's looking good. Everything's looking pretty constructive. Nothing really, just these two little 4-hour supply zones in our way, and of course the big daily supply zone and then there's the new all-time high right up here at around 43.5. So look for a little bit of a stagnation here for the rest of the weekend, and then if we get a candle close, like a significant 4-hour plus above this area, we should be off to the races again. So looking strong, looking good. I like how it's all looking. So, moving on to Ethereum. And Ethereum has done very well for itself. It busted through its supply just barely, and it's doing a little bit of a healthy retrace for the week. This is the weekly chart, and looks like it's setting up to go for continued all-time highs. Will it outpace Bitcoin? I'm not so sure about that, because once Bitcoin breaks its all-time high, I think it's going to be the end of alt season, probably within the next week or two. I'm already seeing signs of that in the other alts as they rotate down into the lower tier, the lower cap alts. That's kind of how it works. It starts with the higher cap alts taking off, and then as people take profits, they take more risks into the mid caps, and then they go for the total shit coins with $1 million, $100,000 volumes and market caps, and try to make their fiat that way, which I think I could get pretty good at if I could sit in front of my computer for 17 hours a day, but I don't have that option, so it's just much easier to stack sats and enjoy the show, watch the others. It's not to be, try not to get too dissuaded or too discouraged when you see people bragging about how much money they made for going long on ETH with 10x leverage and things like that. You got to be in front of your computer 24/7 to capture moves like that, and most of us just don't have that time. So it's much easier just to stack sats and wait. So, but I will get back into what I think is happening between ETH and Bitcoin in a bit. NASDAQ, just as predicted. I just said that just because it pisses Crown off. But I said that this would look like a healthy pullback last week, and sure enough, we got a new all-time high on NASDAQ, and it's pretty much the same all over. People are gaining confidence. It's probably a false confidence, but it's confidence nonetheless that things are going to get back to semi-normal soon with the vaccines going out and everything else. People, I think, are getting more optimistic about what's going to happen, and that can drive the markets better than any type of support we get from the Fed, printing money. So I think the confidence is returning, and that's going to help all the markets too. This is gold, and it's tapping into demand levels. There's a lot of nested demand here. There's an old turncoat, and then it's reformed here, plus a couple of 4 hours on top of it. So as long as it holds this, I don't see it being an issue. If this breaks below down into these demand levels and your monthly support, then we're going to start, then we're going to have some issues. But until I see that, I'm seeing it as kind of just sideways. Going in, probably if you're, a short-term trader, this might be an area of to bounce out of, and also some quiet accumulation might be occurring here too, back behind the scenes. I think a part of it is with Michael Saylor's. I guess he had a seminar or something where thousands of people have signed up for to hear his presentation about Bitcoin, and a lot of people are really starting to turn away from gold and look at Bitcoin as that longer term hold asset that's going to not only hold its value but increase its value, because its supply is capped, whereas gold is got that 1 to 2% inflation per year. So looks like quiet accumulation starting up, quiet reaccumulation, but don't count gold out yet. It's still an industrial use metal. I mean, contrary to whatever Peter Schiff says about Bitcoin, I think gold is still worthy. It's not Bitcoin. So, and Bitcoin still is in price discovery mode. So, and moving on to silver, looking a lot stronger. Although I did buy when I broke one of my rules and jumped the gun and bought way at the top, and I wanted to show that actually. Let's go down to the 30-minute. Well, let's go to the daily first, and you can see that gapped up over the weekend and then just dumped, and I'm pretty sure that was some coordinated effort between hedge funds or something. Didn't dump huge, but it did. That's a $2-3 dump. That's 10-15%. So that's still pretty decent chunk. And as I said, I bought up here, and plus it's a premium, plus it's a piece of art. So I paid a lot for those dragons, and I still haven't got them yet. But the check cleared, so. Should be receiving my dragon soon, but it's still looking like quiet accumulation. I'm going to show that later on when we get to the trading view charts. That I just bought at the wrong time, and you buy on the red candles. You don't buy when you're in accumulation. You buy on the red candles. You don't buy on the green candles, and there was a hype, and I got excited and wanted to jump on the train and get the banks. And I keep forgetting, that we're not even $1 trillion market cap in Bitcoin, and derivatives and options and futures and all that. It's in the quadrillions of dollars. So that's the kind of leverage that they hold versus the little guy. They're 1,000 times stronger than we are. So it's just something to keep in mind. I keep forgetting that they're 1,000 times stronger. So we have to play the long game against them and continue to just chip away at their market shares. But I'm still happy with my purchase. I'm not happy where I purchased it at the price that I purchased it, but I'm still happy with it, and I think it's going to continue to rise. And I still haven't decided whether I'm going to try to flip it or hold it just as an heirloom. Not sure yet. I'm kind of leaning towards flipping it because I'm a minimalist and don't like to have a lot of stuff. And if you go down to the 30-minute chart, just wanted to show this real quick. I bought in somewhere around here, I guess, and somebody was selling the crap out of it at 30. Right here at 30. So some type of hedge fund or something was just knocking price down at 30. They were just sell some type of put options or something. I don't know how all that works. I need to study more. I'm a pretty simple guy. Is buy and sell, buy low, sell high. And I broke one of my several of my rules actually. But don't buy on green candles, buy on red candles, and don't if you heard about it on Twitter, it's too late. And those are the 2 rules that I broke, which caused me to buy right here, and now we're down here. So, live and learn. Even I'm susceptible to the emotional hype. So I have to be more aware, more careful. And that's one of the things when you're losing trades, to review and honestly review yourself, and don't beat yourself up if you make a mistake in your trading plans, because this is a game of emotions as well, and sometimes the emotions can get better of us. We're not robots. So just something to keep in mind, and then to review those bad trades and see where, what could I have done different. What I could have done different was wait and see. I was FOMOing. I was greedy. All kinds of fear going on there, and technically I didn't follow my rules of buying on red candles. So there you go. Oil, wow. No wonder the price is going up at the pumps, huh? That really doesn't. It affects it, but not as much as one might think from what I'm learning and understanding about oil. But it continues to climb as I guess we're getting into the winter season, heating oil and all that stuff. So supplies probably starting to dwindle. I don't know. It's a tough commodity to follow, and I don't have time to follow it. But over long term, it's been, ever since it went negative, it's been all positive. I wish I had bought at the bottom. I wasn't thinking straight. So, and this is what I wanted to talk about when we get into a little bit of deep discussion, is the ETH Bitcoin pair. Everybody's saying how ETH is gonna overtake Bitcoin and this and that. We've only had 2 green candles here for alt season, so that's 2 weeks, and we're already, this week has already been kind of dipped down a little bit. We're not seeing as strong of a counter move of ETH, the ETH ratio beating Bitcoin. And you can see that there's a lot of counter pressure here. The wicks are longer on the top than they are at the bottom. So it's still positive, still green or black candles. For some reason my open high, low close Heiken Aishi doesn't work on the weekly here. But I'm already seeing signs of weakness in the altcoin market. And so these alt seasons, and everybody's thinking about, they're gonna see these 2x and 3x. I'm not seeing that. The underlying fundamentals are showing me that, especially with the Michael Saylor seminar, that's gonna bring in a lot of new money over the next couple of months. A lot of these people, they have to go back to their boards and vote on things, and it's not going to happen overnight. And so they have to go and make these discussions and then do the SEC filings and stuff. So we might see some smaller individual companies. I think that's what we're seeing now, is that smaller individual companies that can move fast and front run these bigger behemoth companies. That they can get in before the bigger companies do. So I'm seeing probably the end of March things are gonna. This chart's gonna go down, starting probably next month, if not mid-month of this month in February. So there's a supply shock of ETH as well, but. And I like ETH's technology, but people don't know ETH. There's people. I'm hearing people still referring to Bitcoin as shares. I heard that yesterday, or day before yesterday. A friend of mine bought Dogecoin, but I'll get into that later. But I'm starting to see a lot of weakness in this supposed alt season. So just something to keep in mind. This is Monero starting to fight back, looking slightly weaker, but the same signature as Bitcoin. And I got same things happening with Litecoin. Starting to fight back. This is a daily. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay. Yeah, okay. I see what I did. So I'll put this on the daily so you can see the same, we're getting looking like reaccumulation, bouncing out of this. We got stacked demand here inside a big nested demand zone. So, and then, very small supplies in the way up at the top. I'm seeing reaccumulation here. Definitely not as strong as Bitcoin, but still seeing the same thing, same signature. And XRP, same thing, pump and dump. It just happened a little faster. They didn't have time to calm down before the next pump. So, not sure what's going on. As you probably can tell, I don't really like this coin too much because I've watched it. And this is the weekly chart. Let's back out a little bit, and you can see that it's just been pump, dump, pump, dump, pump, dump, pump, dump. It's a little bit stronger now, so but it's still the same signature: pump and dump, pump and dump, pump and dump. It's just not as strong as it was, and the actual pumps aren't even as lasting as long. You can see the greens here and here and here. These are stronger, but they're not lasting nearly as long. They're crashing even faster. So that's telling me it's even more of a pump and dump scheme. So just something to keep in mind. I'm in America, so it's probably very difficult for me to wait for it to get down here at the thin blue line in order to start reaccumulating. But maybe the hype will get turned away from it, and it'll get down into accumulation zone, and I can take a look at DCA again, and then taking my money and run when it does pump. There's Tesla flagging out, doing a bull flag here, reaccumulating. Let's look at this on the daily. What does it look like? Definitely had a good week. No question about that. So definitely there's reaccumulation and popping off again. Wait, let me see something. It's weird. Interesting. Okay, well, Tesla doing Tesla, Elon doing Elon. Good stuff, good stuff. Let's move on to over here into now what I've done here. Last week I talked about looking for areas of quiet accumulation, and I made this. I decided that the line was not good enough to tell me when we're in quiet accumulation, that I wanted an envelope. I wanted something wide, so I put a moving average envelope of 30 on top of the BBW. With the 15, I use a 15. I like my Bollingers to react a little bit quicker than the standard Bollinger Bands. It kind of helps me get in and out a little bit quicker. It's right in between 10 and 20, which are the two most common. Actually, it's like a 9 exponential and a 20 simple, but I do is a 15, so I get that sweet spot right in the middle. Helps me react a little bit faster, but not too fast. So, so what this does is it allows me to see those quiet areas of accumulation, and also see when it separates away from the line. That's when I know that we're in a trending market. Well, price will tell me that, but I know that I need to stop accumulating and start looking for an exit when I see that expansion. So right now, all the markets in alt season are just gone crazy haywire, and it's just, there's nothing out there that's really in a good accumulation phase. Everything has just gone completely insane as the Bitcoin dominance has dropped, and all that extra money has gone into the altcoin market. So we'll wait for things to quiet back down, and then that's where I'm going to start looking to accumulate for the next alt season. So yeah, when I first heard that term alt season, I thought alt season would last like months, like 6 months, but I'm finding out that it's just only a couple weeks, 2, 3, 4 weeks, and if once it starts, you're already too late. That's what I'm finding out. So that's what I'm doing now is waiting for this alt season to be over, and then look for those areas of quiet accumulation of good mid cap and high cap alts, and start accumulating them, putting in $10 a day, $5, $1 a day, whatever it is that you can afford. This is what I'm doing. It's not financial advice. It's just what I'm doing right now. So I'm gonna just sitting back and waiting on that, and then once looking to buy low, sell high, buy on the red candles, things like that, and start accumulating that way. But as of right now, Bitcoin is actually just popped out of its accumulation. I had been accumulating in here since this has been going down, but now it's just popped out right here. The Bollinger Bands are expanding, but we are still inside the envelope, so we're still within that margin of where we're not off to the races yet. So when we want to be below here, and then below the envelope, inside the envelope. So that's what we're looking at. But we have popped up over the average as of yesterday. So things are starting to look up. Let's move on to Ethereum. And as you can see, we popped up over the average, but we're curling back down. So this is one of the things that's making me think that alt season might be coming to a close. That and the fundamentals with the Michael Saylor seminar, and more money starting to pour into the Bitcoin market. Because as I said, everybody knows what Bitcoin is by now, everybody in the world, but not everybody knows what Ethereum is, or DOT, or Link, or Cardano even, or anything like that. So, and then there's a lot of competition starting to clip at Ethereum's heels, like Cardano is starting to make a run for things, and DOT, and I'm not so sure if any of them are going to make it at this point, but I still think this is going to be the year of the Bitcoin, and so I continue to stack sats, and eventually I'd like to run my own node in the Lightning Network and make my money that way, make some passive income, and try to figure out what that's all about. I'm still learning about that. So, but this alt season looks like it might be winding to a close. I'm just going to put that out there. Here's DOT. See, we have the same signatures here. Coming down. Link, same thing. We're getting that curl down. Tezos. Tezos being Tezos. Nothing exciting happened. I thought this coin would do a lot better, but it's just becoming an oscillator. So you may be looking at this maybe a little bit longer term. Let's look at the weekly. I want to see something. As when it gets up in here to sell, and when it gets down here in the dollars, buy. So just something I've noticed about Tezos. Yiffy, same thing. It's starting to act like Tezos, just on a bigger scale. You can get up into the 30s, sell, and you get down into the teens, buy. You know, it's gonna oscillate back and forth. Nobody knows what Yiffy is, and then they, you know, it's a yield farming. You know, I still don't quite understand yield farming, and it sounds kind of dangerous. It's not battle tested. Sounds like it could be easily hacked, which it was. I guess they fixed it very quickly, but so it's taken another hit. Here's Bitcoin. See, it's not. It had its week. It had its couple weeks, and now it's starting to fizzle out. Here's Uni. I'm in this one. I think I'm gonna pull out. Probably, I'm gonna do this after I get done. Actually, I'm gonna pull out some of my capital, whether it's gonna be my seed capital or everything. I haven't decided yet, but I've made a couple X, I think, so I'm doing pretty good with that one. Here's Anchor. Anchor's starting to look like the same thing. It looks like starting to look like an oscillator. So these are weekly charts. So let's look what it look like on the daily. So yeah, it's starting to look like an oscillator. Just buy low, sell high. That is, I like the technology. I think this still might have some legs to it. In fact, I think it's going to have some legs to it still. So I might look for an opportunity for a longer term hold on this. I think that this might be a longer term hold here. MicroStrategies, I'm starting to see it's kind of acting like an alt. It's got that little curl down here. A little bit toppy. Got that little curl down going there. And then, GameStop. Yay. Go hodlers. Well, if hodlers bought in here, they're still making money, but from what I understood, a lot of them got out at 420.69, which would be, where's 420.69? 420, right about there. 2069. Yeah, that's what it looks like. A lot of people just dumped at 420.69. That was what the original OG. That was the original motive to get out, and then I think all the bigger players got out. Now all that's left is the leftovers that the hedge fund manager vultures are picking away at them. So they're making a killing. Now you're not hurting them. You were hurting them here, and then you walked away. The ones that walked away that were in on the joke here walked away millionaires at 420.69. So good job, guys. Anybody that got out here. The rest of y'all are just your vulture food. I hate to tell you. Here's Doge. It's pumping, still pumping. Yeah, Snoop Dogg's in on the train now, so it's just a hype coin. It's well, it's doing really well on the hype train. But if you're in it for the fiat, if you got in here, good job. But we are starting to look at a tweezer top here on the daily. Seeing that signature here, right here and here, this would scare the shit out of me right now. If I was in this trade, I would be getting out about here. This would scare the shit out of me because this looks like a tweezer top. Let's look at it on the weekly and see what happens. That is a tweezer top. Boom, boom. Let's zoom in a little bit. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. We had a big sell-off last week, and then a reaccumulation this week. Still might have some legs to it. Huddle on. Huddle on. I don't know. This wick signature though has got me a little bit leery. You got the higher wick and then the lower wick, and it's pretty sharp dissension that tells me that demand is, or supply is increasing, or the demand is waning. So, just something to keep in mind. This is the Elon pump, and here was the Snoop Dogg pump. So, I don't know what celebrity is going to be into it next week, but I think they're just celebrities getting their jollies off, realizing that they playing God. So, it's just interesting. Here's one I wish I would have. I heard a lot of good news about it a few weeks ago, probably in this area. Lumens. I wish I had bought some. Quite honestly, this is looking very constructive. Lumens actually could be, well, it's the XRP killer, is what it is. It's they want to do the same thing as XRP, and so this is something that it might be the coin of choice. It might be what the market decides. So I might look for a long-term buy on this here shortly. So I'm waiting for reaccumulation. Waiting for a red candle weekly, one on the weekly here, but you can see that it's been steadily going up. But I guess the Ukraine is building on top of it, building their stable coin. So just definitely one to keep an eye on. And XRP, as I said, it's pump and dump. Like I said, I might wait for this to quiet down and look for an opportunity, but I think it's pretty hard in the United States. I haven't even tried to buy it in the United States. I bought some when it was on Coinbase when I first heard about it, just because I was still learning and didn't know shit from Shinola. So I'm picking it up and learning as I'm going along. So it's looking wait for it to quiet down, look for some quiet accumulation, and I might start doing that DCA and then pulling out at 0.5x or something like that. So that's a good rundown of today. I think that's enough of that. Let's move on to Maslow's hierarchy of needs. One of the mistakes I kept making when I was trading Forex, this was before I even got into crypto, is I was married and divorced. I had kids. I got step kids, dogs, cats, hamsters, girlfriends, houses, cars. I had all kinds of stuff that I had to take care of as being the man of the house. The traditional male is what I was going with at the time. And I would try to trade while I had all that going on all at once, and I didn't have like a lot of savings that I could trade with, that I could put at risk, and so I kept failing, not because I was a bad trader, but because I would all of a sudden need something, like the septic would go out, or the roof. I needed a new roof, things like that. Just life is going on, and so until these needs are met, the physiological needs, breathing, food, water, sex, sleep, being at peace with it, those needs are met, and then the safety, the insurance, the a house or a roof over my head, my kid, and then getting up in here, loving and belonging. My kids are fed, that I got a good relationship with them, things like that. One, until these first three tiers are met, you're not going to be successful at trading or investing. These because something will happen that will come up and dig into your trading account. And I think a lot of people miss this. And so if you can get everybody on board to use like the baby steps in David Ramsey's book to be able to, minimize your wants and your desires, to maybe move to a smaller house. Maybe you don't need 3 cars. I actually had 3 cars at 4 cars I think at one point, and a truck. I had all kinds of stuff going on, and then I wanted to trade on top of all that, trying to juggle everything. It something would always come up, and I would have to pull my trading account to fix it. So until all that is settled, you won't succeed at trading or even investing for that matter. So taking care of those needs are very important, very vital. And I think David Ramsey, the first 3 steps in particular, but even the 4th, is vital. And that's one of the reasons why I pulled out my seed capital from when I was in Bitcoin from where was I? I got pulled out. I got in on this candle here and all the way, and then I pulled out right there. That's the week I pulled out. It was somewhere in this area. I saw this forming up, so it was right around 37. Yeah, it was around 37 that I got out. So I pulled all my seed capital out. So every dollar cost average every week, every buy the dip, I pulled all that out, put that into a savings account. It's sitting in boring interest. That's peace of mind. That's covering these needs here. That's why I did that. Maybe you're single and you don't have families and child support payments and things like that. Maybe you don't have that, so you could probably just get by with just physiological and safety. Parents, your parents love you. That's probably good enough. Maybe a girlfriend, or maybe you got a Bob for the girls out there, bionic boyfriend. You think you know what I'm saying? And once you satisfy these first 3 needs, then you can start saving for an account. And what I recommend is, instead of trying to trade a small account to a large account, is to save for a large account. And Bitcoin's a good engine for that. Right now, it's not always a good engine for that, but as of right now, Bitcoin is a good engine for that. Which is, I saw the opportunity actually a couple times. I've actually been in Bitcoin since, where was it? Back here. This is where I got in originally, and then I was on this little run here, and then this dump I got out. I jumped out and pretty much broke even, then rebought back in on this candle here, and then rode this wave up. So I did use it as a savings account, but because of my trading background, I knew what to look for. And as I said, I saved in, and then I was also still trying to trade, but I didn't quite get it back then, even what I was doing wrong. And so here's a simple way. If you are doing 20, 15 to 20% per year return on an investment in normal circumstances, not with Bitcoin or altcoins, because it's, there's a lot of risk involved, but just just the normal what people have come to expect over the years of just a safe return of 12 to 20%, like what Dave Ramsey talks about in his, putting money away in a mutual fund. I don't agree with that philosophy, but it is a safer way to invest. But if you can't beat that by trading, then you shouldn't be trading. So, and what I mean by that is, if you save, let's start off with you save $100 a week. Let's keep it simple. $100 a week. So you put in $100, and then next week you put in another $100. So you have just doubled your account. You've made it to 100% gain on your account. Okay. Then you add another $100 the following week. So now you're at 300%. So what's that? 66% is what you gained. That's a gain. If you're 66% in a week, in 2 weeks, you gain 66%. If you can't trade and then you shouldn't be trading until you get up to that level where you're saving, where a good average, when you're a forex trader fighting the forex markets, if you can do 1 to 2% per week, you're doing really good. You're doing really good. And so in order for you to save that much, you have to save, several $1,000s if you're doing $100 a week before you get to a level where you're getting that small of a return. So you're looking at $10,000. If you save $10,000 and then you add another $100, that's 1%. Okay, that's the point at where you are starting to match what you can do if you were a trader or an investor. And then, as I said, right now, Bitcoin is a good vehicle to invest in and just stack sats, and that's what I've been doing. And because of my background in trading, I was able to spot that this area where I thought that it might take a dive. And fortunately it looks like it didn't, but that's okay. Now I got that money is set off to the side, and it's earning some boring interest at 10% compounding weekly, which is still really good. That's better than I could do trading without the work and the effort. So that money's set off to the side, and it is protecting these needs. So just want to put that out there. And thanks for watching. We'll see you. Have a happy Super Bowl. Forgot to mention that. And yes, I said Super Bowl, not the big game. Come and find me, bitches. All right. Y'all have a good one.